Joe Panik's series in Colorado is something special. 12 hits in the 3-game series. And when it was over, the Giants' second baseman set the franchise record and tied the Major League mark. Tonight, Panik and the Giants are in the Windy City on the south side where the White Sox play. Game 1 of the series. Next. The Giants road trip continues. We're in Chicago. It's the Windy City as we get ready for Giants baseball game 1 of this 3-game series. Giants White Sox. Welcome to NBC Sports Bay Area, powered by Xfinity. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Javi Lopez. Mike will join us back when we get into San Francisco. Well, it's Matt Moore on the mound, and Matt Moore's had some success over his last 3 or 4 starts, and he said he's backed off a little bit, and I'm wondering, Javi, what exactly does that mean?
Well, it's not the intensity. That stuff is going to stay the same, but when you back off, it's kind of just backing off on the grip pressure, not trying to hold the baseball so tight, not forcing the location, practicing getting through your delivery and finishing, and he's been doing a great job in August.
All right, we'll look for a solid start out of Matt Moore on a night where it's all about the DH, which is Buster Posey for the Giants. All right, stay tuned. We'll take you to our NBC Sports Bay Area studios for an update, and we'll do that right after this.
Sports Bay Area is brought to you by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. By Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. By State Farm, here to help life go right. Talk to an agent today or call 1-800-STATE-FARM. By Jack in the Box. Come try the new $4.99 Smoky Jack Burger Combo with small fries and a small drink, limited time only. And by the 2017 Jeep Cherokee with an EPA estimated 30 highway miles per gallon.
All right, back here in Chicago as we get ready for Giants baseball. Our game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Yes, indeed, the boardwalk is open this weekend. 62 degrees here in the Windy City. You see the winds and humidity, and it is mostly cloudy but comfortable. All right, the Giants lineup, and it's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. And it'll be a game with the DH, Span Panic, and you know how hot he is. And Buster Posey is the DH. Then it'll be Crawford, Hundley, and Pence. Sandoval in the lineup. Mac Williamson, you hit a home run in the last game you play in, you start. And Mac Williamson is. And Ryder Jones is going to hit in the 9th spot.
Taking the mound for the White Sox is Lucas Giolito. He's a big fella, 6'6", 255, 23 years old. You look at the numbers, just limited work so far in the show, but he did a nice outing last time against the Tampa Bay Rays. 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, and that came off a solo shot. He walked 1, punched 10, and how he does it is with a lot of gas. He throws the fastballs, and then basically the out pitch is a curveball. If the curveball is working, he's going to have a good outing. If he struggles locating with it, you might see him backing up a couple bases.
And it'll be Denard Span to lead things off here at, get this right, Guaranteed Rate Field and the pitch. And it's down low. I may actually not ever say that again the rest of this series.
That's a lot to say.
Maybe New Comiskey. Span hitting .269 with 10 home runs, 37 driven in. And there's a call strike. So 7-10 and 62 degrees. And the 1-1 to Denard Span is high. Doing the honors behind the dish is Gabe Morales, Sherwater, Cooper, Adrian Johnson. Eric Cooper is the crew chief, and he's at second. The pitch to Span is hit sharply on the ground, but on one hop to Anderson. And that's how this game gets started.
Let's take a look at the White Sox defense behind Giolito. Starting in the outfield, it's Delmonico, Engel, and Garcia. And on the left side of the infield, you have Davidson and Anderson. On the right side, Moncada and Abreu. And Kevin Smith will be doing the catching.
So what do you got on Morales?
Well, Morales is pretty average zone for both pitchers and hitters. He's going to call a little bit tighter on the lefties. He will call up, in and up on lefties, and he will basically just stay up for the most part on the righties. He doesn't like the low pitches that much. Pretty consistent guy, though.
Here's the Red Hot Panic hitting .285. 10 home runs, 48 runs batted in. And it is noticeable seeing Joe Panic choke up just a little bit.
Well, it's time for the Nissan keys to the game, and it's stay hot Joe Panic. I think that's obvious. Ride that hot streak that you had going on in Colorado and strike one for old Matty Moore when he's working ahead in the count. It's a recipe for success, especially when the White Sox are hitting .277 off of lefties, which is good for 4th in the league. Working ahead in the count's imperative.
It's not a new key by any stretch of the imagination.
Absolutely
for
not.
any starting pitcher, but for some guys,
you got to remind them.
Yeah. Panic out of play. His series in Colorado, it's not very often can you say a guy had a historic series, and that's exactly what he did.
It's truly incredible.
He went 12 for 15.
It's good if you're into it.
Oh, goodness. 12 for 15. Here it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. And he rolls it foul.
There's the curveball that you're looking at right there.
That's a pretty good one. There you see most hits in a 3-game series. And the last guy to do it was in 1939. That's unbelievable. And Panic takes high. And Panic takes the walk. They're telling us that Jerry Remy had that many hits, but it was a 4-game series. He only played in 3 of the 4 games. So he's being punished for not being on that list.
Yeah, it doesn't count. Sorry, Jerry.
So here's Buster Posey. Remember, Buster got hurt in the second game of that series in Colorado. He got a foul ball off his right hand, and it really affected the fourth knuckle on his right hand. And he shoots this one to second, and it kicks off the glove of Moncada, which should have been a double play, ends up being an error. So that'll be an error, and that'll bring up Crawford.
He wasn't wasting any time. You look at the fastball, got first pitch, 1 hopper. Moncada playing him up the middle. Couldn't get the glove down in time, kicked off of there.
Yeah,
you'll take it.
That's one that will wear on you if you're Moncada. It'll certainly wear on you if you're out on the mound. So now you're pitching in traffic with Crawford and Hundley coming up. Crawford hitting at 247. 1 shy of 70 runs batted in. And he doesn't waste any time, and it's no balls and 1 strike. That's one of those where you guess fastball, you get it, and sometimes you swing at it because you're so happy you guessed right.
Well, I think that's why Giolito went so high in the draft of 16th overall. I mean, he's a big boy. He's hard to pick up the ball. Releases it halfway to home, it seems like, and I'm sure it's an adjustment for every hitter.
Now Giolito steps off.
He's part of that big trade that brought over Dane Dunning and Ronaldo Lopez for Adam Eaton, the center fielder that used to be here, over to the Nationals now.
I think people forget about Adam Eaton and what he was supposed to be a big part of that Nationals lineup.
Sure was.
I think he played a week.
Yeah, you look at it right there, and Dane Dunning is the brother of former Giant farmhand Jake Dunning, prospect out of Florida. They gave up a lot.
Here's the 1-1 to Crawford. Crawford rolls this one. Moncada's got another shot. There's one, and that's all they'll get. So Hundley's going to hit with runners at the corners. Let's check out our Jeep Drive of the Game Wednesday in Denver. Nick Hundley, check to see what happens when you throw hanging curveballs. Ouch.
They get deposited.
Off of Shane Carl, a 2-run shot.
Nothing like burning your old team. No better feeling.
So Hundley will step in with Panic at third and Crawford at first, and Hunter Pence on deck. Hundley's been a good sign for Bobby Evans in the offseason.
It's such an amazing thing for me. He's got 60 hits on the year. 29 of them have been extra base hits. 22 doubles and 7 homers. I mean, that's getting production when you're not getting a whole lot of exposure.
It absolutely is. And the pitch to Hundley, and he takes it just a little low. The Giants have won one more game than the White Sox. And the White Sox just got swept by the Indians. They played here last night. There's a strike. Easy 93.
It's crazy for the White Sox. They're on a stretch here where they're going to have to play 33 of 34 days, 33 games in 34 days to end the season.
Wow.
That's when you like having your roster at 40.
That's true. Some of that must have been weather related.
It has to be.
So panic at third. Giants trying to get on the board early. It's 1-2 to Nick Hundley. And that will end the inning with a strikeout, the first for Giolito. Matt Moore coming out. The mound and the lineup that he'll be facing is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. It'll be Anderson, Moncada, and then Abreu. He's the big dog. As you can see, he can hit the ball out of the park. It'll be Garcia, Davidson, and then Delmonico. Smith, Saladino, and then Engel. Adam Engel will hit in the 9th spot.
Taking the mound for the San Francisco Giants is Matt Moore. He's coming on, putting together some pretty good outings. As you see, the numbers are not where he wanted them to be, but he's coming out here. His last start was against San Diego. Went 5 innings, gave up 5, made hits. But he's going for his 50th win tonight. And if there's a team that he wants to be facing, it's the White Sox. He's 4-1 in 5 career starts against the White Sox. And you see how he does it is with a mainly fastball, cutter, and curveball combo. But he's been mixing in the changeup a lot more this year, and especially in August.
So here's Tim Anderson, who fouls this one back and out of play.
And there's strike one.
Hey,
key to the game.
So far.
Nailed it.
We're in. Our next key would have been get strike 2.
And he did it.
Anderson has missed, and I'm just reading this by their notes, the White Sox notes, as he strikes out on 3 pitches. It says Anderson has missed the last 3 games due to illness, so he's back.
Let's look at the Giants defense behind Matt Moore tonight. We'll start in the outfield from left to right. It'll be Williamson, Span, and Pence. On the left side of the infield, it's Sandoval and Crawford. On the right side, it's Panik and Ryder Jones, and Nick Hundley will be doing the catching tonight.
So here's the young second baseman, Johan Moncada, and he just swings at the first pitch and lifts it out to right, and Hunter Pence will put it away. Not wasting any time on a guy you've never seen before. And you know what? I don't have a problem with that.
No.
Get after him.
Yeah. Moncada's a high prospect. We couldn't even get to talking to him. There's a fastball up and away. Missed the location a little bit.
Strike 1 though, right?
It's strike 1 and it's an out. That's the pitcher's best friend. When you can get 1 pitch and get an out off of it, you love it.
Broadcast partner that calls that a gift.
That's right.
Here's Abreu. And he swings at the first pitch.
Well,
and that's strike one. 28 home runs, 84 driven in for Jose Abreu.
and he's the guy you want to be facing with nobody on. He's had a great year against lefties. He's 6th in the league at 371 clip against left-handed pitching. And the guy on deck leads the league. Garcia's at hitting 435 against left-handed pitching.
So there seems to be a challenge out there tonight from Matt Moore.
Exactly right.
On the ground, and Joe Panic. And that's going to end the inning. So nice inning. 8 pitches for Matt Moore. And after one, it's 0-0.
Sports Bay Area is brought to you by Los Gigantes Lager, a Mexican-style lager from Anchor Brewing and the San Francisco Giants.
Here in Chicago, on the same grounds where the old Comiskey Park was at, it's 0-0. As Hunter Pence is going to lead things off. Pence, Sandoval, Mac Williamson. They've seen Lucas Giolito. And the first pitch is a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. I was talking about the Giants record and the White Sox record. The White Sox expected this record. The Giants did not. Because they are in a rebuild, and that started as soon as their season ended last year. Pence takes low. It's 3-0.
Yeah, you knew when you saw Todd Frazier in spring training that most likely he wasn't going to be hanging around too long.
So we'll see if Hunter Pence has the green light. And he takes a strike. Generous.
It's that old 3-0 guaranteed strike you always seem to get. It doesn't have to be, but you see more often than not that umpire's going to raise his hand.
Gets a high fastball, and it's lifted foul, so it's now 3-2. Got him. Comes back from 3-0 to a strikeout.
The Diamondbacks will take on the Giants Friday, September 15th through the 17th. On Saturday, the 16th, the first 20,000 fans will receive an Orlando Cepeda statue replica presented by Konica Minolta. Join us as we celebrate Orlando's 80th birthday at the ballpark. Tickets always available at sfgiants.com. 80.
Here's Sandoval. Sandoval lifts one to left, but it's in the park to Delmonico, and Sandoval's retired. I mentioned in the lineups that you hit a home run, you're going to play the next game. And here's our Togo's big play the Togo's way. High fastball out over the plate. And on Wednesday, Mac Williamson hit it into the seats off of Jeff Hoffman. It was his second career pinch hit home run. So Big Mac gets the start.
Good for him.
Yep.
He needs it. And this is showcase time. That's what September's for.
And it's a bit low. Yeah, a lot of different ways you could go right now. You got Austin Slater, who's starting to play again. But the start goes to Mac Williamson. Parker's still dinged up. Otherwise, he would probably be in the lineup. Foul back. It's a different month than all the other months during the regular season with the expansion of the rosters.
Yeah, it's true. Some of the clubs that are out of it got everybody up, seeing what you got. Some of the other clubs that don't want to really change up the continuity in the clubhouse only call up a handful of guys.
On the ground to third, and it kicks off with Davidson, and it squirts into left field. We'll see. That may not be as easy to call. Well, they didn't waste any time. It's an error.
85. You look at it right there. That second hop just ate him up.
That infield looks really quick. So Moncada with an error in the first. Davidson here with an error. And now it's Ryder Jones who gets the start.
And it's the perk of American League ball. You don't have to face the pitcher here. So there's damage on every turn.
High fastball and a swing. You get a miss. Ryder Jones. And the concussion to Brandon Belt has really allowed Ryder Jones to get some at bats. It would be nice to see Brandon Belt back, but if you kind of read into what Bruce Bochy's been saying, it's probably not going to happen.
The brain, you don't want to mess around with those things too much, especially with a guy that has history with it. No reason to rush back unless you're 100%. Belt said it himself in an interview a couple days ago.
Williamson goes. He got a good jump, but he's going to be out. No. It must have been that Anderson dropped the ball.
Yeah, it looked like a no catch.
It's a perfect throw.
He threw it right down there, hit the glove. I think he just. Yeah, he knocked it right out of the glove. You look at the left hand of Mac Williamson right here.
He's out.
He's out, but he.
And now he's safe.
Yep. It's not a good commercial for Wilson gloves right there. You want to make sure that that thing's going to squeeze it.
Well, maybe I'm not seeing that he dropped.
Maybe
that he didn't drop.
Maybe he did hold on to it. Yeah.
If he held on to it, well, then there's probably a chance that he's going to be called out. I thought he went down to reach to pick up the baseball.
That's what I thought too. I think that's what Eric Cooper saw.
So anyway, this replay review is presented by Xfinity. Nope, he had it all along.
He had it the whole way.
He's out.
So I take it back. Great commercial for Wilson.
Yeah. They're showing it on the board, and he may have missed Williamson. So it is a bit risky. Or he could have slid off the bag. Who knows? I'm going to just stop.
Yeah, we'll just sit here and as long as it doesn't take 5 minutes, like it seems to take.
Uh-oh, here's the call. He got him, and that'll end the inning. Nothing. NBCSportsBayArea.com and the NBC Sports app, and it's presented by Honda. Yes. So it'll be Garcia, Davidson, Delmonico to face Matt Moore, who had a nice, crisp first inning on a crisp night, 62 degrees at first pitch. And another strike one, and it's no balls and one strike. Cubs are, or the White Sox are coming out hacking.
They're not waiting around.
How about these numbers? 322, 14 home runs, 64 driven in. It'll be Span or Pence, and it's Hunter Pence.
Xfinity X1 customers say, show me the San Francisco Giants into your X1 voice remote, and you get live stats on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1.
Here's Matt Davidson.
That's the ultimate laziness, isn't it? When you're just talking to your remote. That's awesome.
It is.
Man, it's such a beautiful thing.
It is. Breaking ball on the first pitch is down low. 1 ball and no strikes. Well, hey, you can say the same thing about Siri.
No doubt. No doubt. You can say, hey, what do you got on Matt Davidson? He'll tell you he's a prospect from Arizona that you got for Addison Reed. I just got hit in the toe.
He did. And the first base runner for the White Sox. And the hitter is Nicky Delmonico. .284, 6 home runs, 12 driven in. Lefty against lefty, and a strike.
This guy makes me feel old. I met him when he was a sophomore in high school.
Come on.
He's from Knoxville, Tennessee. His dad used to coach the Tennessee Volunteers baseball team. Coached the WBC team with for the Netherlands in 2009 with Bam Bam, I believe. And now he's in the show, rolling into double plays.
Crawford's throw a little high. So do you remember him being around?
Oh yeah, yeah. He was quite a prospect coming out of Knoxville high school ranks. I think his team went to state titles. I think 4 years in a row. High prospect guy, and couldn't believe it. Every time I see Delmonico, either I'm thinking steak or this guy, and sure enough, he's here.
Well, you might have to say hello to him.
Yeah.
Here's Kevin Smith. By the way, that gets worse as you get older and you stay in the game, where I mean, it really is sad to say that I babysat for the bench coach of the Cardinals. Here's the 1-0 to Smith, and he drives it into center field. Is it going to stay in the park? Yes, it is. And that's going to end the inning. We will head to the third. It's nothing.
NBC Sports Bay Area is brought to you by Amici's East Coast Pizzeria. When you want the best pizza in town, Amici's delivers. And by PenFed Credit Union. Do better with your money at PenFed. It's easy to apply and no military service required. Apply today at PenFed.org.
It's 0-0, and Ryder Jones is at the plate. Remember, he was at the plate when Williamson was thrown out trying to steal. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Tonight, it's Javi Lopez. Tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday.
Drink it in, it goes down smooth.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. In the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. When did we do a game last? Was it? It wasn't Atlanta, was it?
Pittsburgh? Might have been Atlanta. Can't remember what the order.
Look out. In tight, 2 balls and 1 strike. Well, we like, I don't like to have to overwork. Make sure that you get a gap in between.
It's important to just come in at 3 games at a time and try to get
some insight.
Yeah.
3-1 to Ryder Jones.
Yeah, Pittsburgh was the last one, right? The beginning of July.
I remember that.
Because then you went to Detroit.
Yep.
Your favorite.
My favorite. Jones swinging a foul back. It's 3-2. Span watching on deck. And this is a little pop-up. It very well could be playable, as Davidson's going to come in and Ryder Jones is going to have another shot.
No catch. Matt Davidson. Something's going on with that glove. Let's take another look. Coming in on it. Tries the old slide scoop. Not tonight.
There will not be an error charged on this. But in all honesty, he should have been caught. He knows that.
Yep. Now comes the homer.
That's right. The big fly after the drop pop up.
Yep.
Instead, it'll be a walk on a close pitch. Well, September is Fan Appreciation Month. That's right. Not day, not week, month. And celebrating the best fans in baseball all month long. Tuesday the 19th and Friday the 29th are dollar hot dog nights. All Giant dogs are only $1 for the whole game.
Wow.
Wow. Now, if you can't make it to the ballpark, you're clearly not going to take advantage of the hot dogs. Go to sfgiants.com/fan appreciation to register to be eligible. Dollar dogs. And there's a breaking ball for a called strike. With Joe Panik on deck. So the Giants get a leadoff hitter on for the first time.
Yeah, Span can bang one out in the right center. He'll be running for a while. They're really shading him over to left center.
Out of play on the pitch away. It's 0-2.
See a shot of the defense right there. That's a swing. It's obvious you're gonna play towards tendencies, but it'd be nice to make a mistake and find the gap.
On the infield, pretty much straight away. Out of play again. It stays at 0-2. You might have covered this, but Giolito was a draft pick by the Nationals, even though they knew he either had just had Tommy John or he was going to have Tommy John. One way or the other, they took him number 1 and then involved in that big trade. And we see organizations that do that. They're not afraid of that operation anymore.
Now the advancements that you're seeing, you really shouldn't be afraid of it anymore. Obviously, again, you don't want to see it happen, but it isn't something that scares people off anymore. You see big contracts after guys have it. It's just kind of become routine now, unfortunately.
On the ground, Abreu spins and throws. He makes a perfect throw, and they get the double play. That was a nice play by that big fella at first base.
Great play by Jose Abreu right there. That is not easy, having to cover the bag, hop off with a lefty up. And being right-handed too, you get a quick 2-hopper in between hop, throws a strike to second base and gets back and gets the pitcher out of the way and makes the play himself. Take another look at it. As a right-hander, it's not easy to have to do that spin move and throw a strike, and he does that. Gives Davidson plenty of time to flip it over there to first base.
So here's Panik. Panik drew a walk in the first, and here he takes a called strike. Panik trying to get on now for Buster Posey with 2 outs. Giants enjoyed their day off yesterday in Chicago. As some of the Giants players had their families come in to enjoy their day off with them. Joe's mom and dad are in town. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
Yeah, they made the rounds. I took the trip up here with every Georgia Bulldog fan in the Atlanta area. Every flight was jammed up as they take on Notre Dame tomorrow.
And judging by what you were telling us, very docile crowd.
Yeah, they had the chants going at the Atlanta airport. They had the chants on the plane.
So
they're going to take over South Bend. Believe me.
South Bend tomorrow. 2-2 pitch. Here it is to Panic. And it's in the dirt. 3-2.
Really seeing the ball well.
By the way, this is not the only baseball game in town tonight. Cubs and Brewers are going at it at the same time. Panic drives one to left in the park, and it'll be Delmonico, and that'll end the inning. So with the help of the double play, we will head to the bottom of the third. 0-0. Former 49ers quarterback Jeff Garcia has joined Dave Feldman and Dennis Brown on the official pre- and post-game shows of the team. You get in-depth coverage from Matt Mayoko on NBCSportsBayArea.com. Sunday to Sunday, check it out. It's the home of the authentic 49ers fan is NBC Sports Bay Area, and the first pitch is wide to Tyler Saladino. And this guy here,
he can't wait for St. Patty's Day.
He's having a ball.
You're halfway to St. Patty's Day. He's excited.
And unless we're cropping the shot wrong, it looks like it's a good night for a party for one.
Oh. Yeah, maybe.
Crawford, what's new? Spins, throws, got him. Saladino just found out. Hit it to somebody else.
Yeah, he's got gold gloves for a reason. Take another look at it. Nice two-hopper up the middle. Spins, throws, sets his feet. You know what I like to see about him that you don't see from all the shortstop is the time that he takes. I know it's quick. It looks really fast, but he sets his feet, gets the grip, and trusts his arm, and just throws a strike. A lot of guys will rush through that spin, jump, do all kinds of stuff.
Engel drives this one to right center field, and Pence is not going to get it. And Engel, who can run, ends up at third. Engel, who hitting in that nice spot, as a 1-out triple.
Now you look at a little cutter away, it looks like. Moore leaves it up just a little bit. I thought Hunter had it, nicks off the glove. You see it right there. Span quickly over to cut it off, or help him out, throw the ball in, but this guy can run. That's why he's a center fielder. See him take those long strides, and it's an easy triple for him. Does it standing up. Hunter knows he had that one. Love another chance, but hey, this is a spot where Matt Moore's got to pitch out of. It's something that you got to want. And the way he's been throwing the ball tonight.
Well, he struck out Anderson on 3 pitches. And the first pitch is down low. Infield is in, and I mean all the way in. By the way, that just happens to be the first hit for the White Sox as well. Out of play. In that Cubs-Brewers game, Ryan Braun hit a home run in the first inning off of John Lackey. And the Brewers are leading that one 2-0.
Looks like Anderson's having a real hard time picking up that breaking ball. Matt's got him in a good count here. Nick's been a real good game caller. I would imagine they're going to continue to try to jam him in with something, maybe another fastball, or throw that breaking ball again. Fastball up or a breaking ball down the foot, but something inside.
Way outside. By the way, the Brewers and Cardinals are 5 back of the Cubs in the Central. And in the wild card, the Brewers and Cardinals are 3 back of the Rockies. On the ground, Sandoval's got it. He'll come home. And now they've got Engel in a rundown. And Sandoval will tag him. So nice play, Pablo.
Yeah, great play, Pablo. Great pitch. Great sequence right there with Nick and Matt continuing to throw the curveballs. And made a mistake. Overcooked the one before. That one finished nicely. Got the ground ball. Well executed rundown on a fast runner, too.
And they did it where they actually kept Anderson from moving into scoring position.
You know, I mean, again, when you're a center fielder, you got some speed, but they were able just to make it 1 throw, 2 throws, I should say. And very well done.
3 throws, the guy goes to second. So here's Moncada. Moncada hit a fly ball to right. He swung at the first pitch. And ball and no strikes. Anderson's got 7 steals. He's 7 out of 8. So do not be surprised with 2 outs if he takes off.
Right on it. At least now we can mention that he was the #1 prospect for the Red Sox in 2015.
#1.
Came over here and became #1. This guy can play. He's got some skill. And he's got some show Adidas on. All whites.
It used to be that the A's were the only team that wore white shoes. Now you see multiple players on rosters wear white shoes. Hey, there was remember when Brian Wilson got fined because the shoes were not up to standards, and I don't think they have shoe rules anymore.
Yeah, performance enhancing shoes. I remember that.
it's safe to say that maybe Brian Wilson was ahead of his time in some areas.
Absolutely. Let's take another look right here at this changeup. Might have been the breaking ball, actually. Either way, it was nasty.
See if he backs it up. And that'll end the inning. So, a triple wasted by the White Sox. Buster Posey's going to lead things off. Johnson tonight after Giants postgame live on NBC Sports Bay Area, and it's also available to listen live and as a podcast on NBCSportsBayArea.com. The Happy Hour. Here's Buster Posey, who reached on an error in the first. It's 0-0. And the first pitch to Buster is high. Crawford Hundley to follow. Lucas Giolito. And this is driven into left center field. And Engel is just going to track it down. Oh, he glides out there.
He does. It was a great jump. Got a good read off the bat. Made it look a hard play look really, really easy right there. Take another look at it. That ball's touched. Quick read, long strides. Catches it in front of the track. And he's going to check himself out on the Jumbotron, as I would too. Nice play.
A little self-evaluation as to how you look. Crawford reached on a fielder's choice in the first. But the good thing is you see Buster Posey swing and hit the ball hard, and you think, well, all right, well then it looks like he's doing pretty well after injuring himself on Tuesday. Crawford's going to pick up a base hit as he drives one in front of Garcia. And that'll bring up Nick Hundley.
It's nice to see out of Crawford. He's obviously a series in Colorado. You always want to be banging the ball over the yard. He's taking some good swings and unfortunate results, but he's been seeing the ball so well. You want to make sure you keep that guy hot.
Finish strong, and it appears that that's what he's going to do. And here's Hundley. Hundley taps it foul. Hundley struck out. It was Giolito's first strikeout. Giants announced today that Mark Melanson is indeed going to have his surgery. I think he said on Monday, and actually they're telling us in the truck that it's on Tuesday. And look, I give him credit for pitching for as long as he did. And on the appeal, I'm going to say Hundley went around. Yeah, and Bruce Bochy really did stress it, that he would be ready for spring training. 1-2. Down low.
Never hurts to get some extra time to heal up, and
I mean,
it's got to be commended that he wanted to do what he was doing again. You know,
if you're
wanting to pitch and be a leader.
3 back in the wild card race, you probably wait.
Yeah, sure. I mean, the pieces are there for the Giants to do some stuff, and he's a major factor. And you want to make sure you get that back end healthy, especially the way the late inning guys have been able to kind of gel with Strickland and Dyson and Melanson when they were throwing 7, 8, 9. You're seeing some really good quality ball games.
Hundley holds up, so it's 3-2. Next pitch will be number 60. Giolito. Pence to follow. See if Crawford goes. He does. Swing and a pop-up, and it's going to be out of play, so we'll do it again. I had visions that this ballpark wasn't going to be very nice. It looks nice. I think the only thing that might have been a bit more helpful is the upper deck is really far away from the field. It's like that in Detroit as well.
It was quite a sight when I think it was baby blue seats, from what I remember.
Yep.
When they went all with this forest green, it definitely looks a little more cozy.
Crawford goes again, and it's low. So Hundley takes the walk, a nice at bat, and that'll bring up Hunter Pence.
Giolito's pretty consistent with the timing to home. He's usually around a 1-3, 1-3-5. And the tempo's actually been the same, so I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants try to run a little bit. He's holding the ball for about the same time every time when he comes set.
So here's Hunter Pence. Hunter struck out in the second. He jumped out in front, 3 balls and no strikes, and then Giolito came back and struck him out. So the Giants have created an opportunity much like they did in the first.
I don't think he's going to wait around with a runner in scoring position.
I don't believe he is either. And here's the first pitch to Pence. And it's a called strike. Pence with pant legs pulled up high. It's standard now for Hunter Pence. See lots of sock. And he got a piece. It's 0-2. I don't think you were with us. It was in San Francisco where he put his pant legs all the way down, and it didn't look like, it was like, who is that guy?
I saw the game, and it was, I want to say he was clean shaven too, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was
a
very
whole new guy.
Very odd. There's a one hopper, and it's going to give the Giants an opportunity now to score a run by making it out. And if you're Hunter Pence, no one knows more than he does that he needs to put the ball in play.
Yeah, look at Smith. He's doing everything he can to keep it in front of him. It's tough to do that when you're throwing the ball about 57 feet. Stands up on it, knocks it down. I mean, there's not much you can do. Let's see if old number 8 can take advantage of this.
The White Sox infield will play back at short and at second. Three and two.
Now, you always like to say you got a base to play with. You can set up a double play. But when you have a free swinger like Pablo Sandoval, he's in a little bit of a funk. When you have to throw the ball to him with no place to put him, that's good for a guy that's been struggling.
Got him. So that's the second time in almost the same pitch.
Trying to ride that fastball up and in. Carries it up and over the plate. That pitch looks so big to every hitter, they think they can get on top of it, and they've committed early, and next thing you know, it's by you. It's the velocity. It's not so much the velocity, it's the location. Still a chance to put a couple on the board.
Yeah, and if you're going to break the slump that Pablo's in, you might as well do it with a couple of guys in scoring position. And he swings at the first pitch, and he fouls it back. The slump we're talking about is now 0 for his last 39. Down low. Each team with just one hit. Giolito's walked 3 and he struck out 3. Nice block by Smith.
Sure was. Great job of laying off that pitch too. Down and into the lefty curveball. It's a pitcher you see a lot of chase.
Oh, the faithful. Pull them out of their closets. It's 2-1. High drive, right field. It is out of here. And that's got to feel pretty good for Pablo Sandoval. And it's 3-0 Giants.
Took advantage of a mistake right there. And what a way to break a streak. Puts on the championship belt. Slaps some high fives. That guy never lacks confidence. And look at Boch. Smiles all around. And the longest and happiest high five line you get in spring training right there. Look at that.
Pablo's had so many big hits in postseason for the Giants. He might rank this one up there with those other ones.
Yeah, he's showing off the chiclets. Look how happy he is right there. He is a happy guy.
So here's Mac Williamson. That was not a cheapie either.
No, it took advantage of a hanging changeup. Drove it into the seats. He's so happy. Look at him. Bammer with giving him a ball.
You know, he's been, personality-wise, he's been really good through all of it.
Just got to trust the process.
Williamson takes down low. He reached on an error by Davidson at third in the second. Well, 1 for his last 40. I know it doesn't sound very good, but that one came in your last at bat. At least you got a run going now. It's 2-2 to Mac Williamson. And a full count. That maybe unnerved Giolito just a little bit.
Yeah, they're making him work this inning. He's up at 76 pitches now. And Mac has power. You put him in these hitter counts.
Up the middle, right through Giolito, and it's Moncado who puts it away. So the Panda gone, and it's bye-bye baby, and it gives the Giants a 3-0 lead. Good for you, Panda. Unite, and he'll honor sports legend Joe Montana as he throws out the first pitch. Now there's an event package that's going to include a Montana bobblehead and a ticket to see the Giants and the Dodgers. You need the special ticket to get the bobblehead. sfgiants.com/special events. Well, Matt Moore has the lead, and he's facing Jose Abreu, and there's a call strike. Abreu bounced out to Joe Panik to end the first inning. On the ground up the middle, and there's a base hit. So Abreu will be the first leadoff hitter that's reached in this game for the White Sox, and here's Garcia.
You look right here, one of the rare changeups he's thrown tonight. Giolito leaves it middle, and Pablo didn't miss it. Squared it up, drove it. You see the big exhale. I can only imagine what that feels like for Panda right there to be able to do that.
So here's Garcia. Pitch swinging, starting to carry, Pence back, gone. On the first pitch, Garcia makes it a 3-2 ball game.
He didn't waste any time.
They do not, and that for that kid is home run number 15.
He's very comfortable against the southpaws. He's hitting .435 coming into the contest. Goes after the first pitch, tries to locate a cutter away, leaks over the plate just a little bit. But you got to give him credit on that piece of hitting there, being able to drive it the other way. That first I wasn't sure. Then you watch Hunter Pence just drift back and running out of real estate.
That was
There it goes.
well back into.
Yeah.
So here's Matt Davidson. Ball for a strike. I mean, this is a ballpark where you will see a lot of home runs. But I agree with you. On a cool night, you still got to get into it pretty good to go the other way, and he did.
That was 3 pitches, 2 runs.
Just off the plate. Delmonico is on deck. We're in the 4th. A healthy rip and a pop-up straight back. It's now 2-2. Good take. No swing. 3-2. Couple of streaks. Here's the check swing. Yes, indeed.
Good pitch.
Good comeback. About a couple of streaks. The Indians have won 15 straight. D-backs have won 13 straight. Here's that pitch.
There it is. Breaking ball trying to get down and away. The old pull down and in. Still a strike. Good pitch.
Here's Delmonico. Swinging and fouling and out of play. Arizona will take on the Padres at home tonight. And Cleveland is on its way to their 16th straight win. They are shutting out the Orioles 5-0 in the 7th. Never run tried.
Yeah, that's impressive. Yes, he did. Diamondbacks have been hot. Dodgers have been icy.
Dodgers have, it's almost like, wow.
11-12 or 12-13, somewhere right there.
Close. It's Marquez for the Rockies against Darvish tonight for LA. Here's the last pitch.
Lead it up and away, locates it down and away.
Could have got that call.
Definitely could have gotten that call. Nick was giving it more than the once over. He was staring at it. See where that missed. Put Delmonico back in the count.
So he loses Delmonico, which will bring Kevin Smith to the plate. Sometimes that shutdown inning is tough to get. Smith hit a fly ball to Denard Span in the 2nd inning. So Matt Moore sets the high set right at the chin. And it's driven down the right field line. Foul, not by much. And if you're Matt Moore, the only way you can look at that is it's strike 1.
Absolutely. Stu was all over that. Turned around. Took a knee. Checked out that line. Called it out. Didn't need the laser thing like the U.S. Open in tennis right there. He knew it.
So it's no balls and a strike. Now Monaco with his lead. And a little fly ball out to left field for Mac Williamson. Two outs. Here's Saladino. Tyler Saladino. I started filling out my lineup card. You did too. And if you don't sincerely follow the American League every day, and I don't, I looked at some of these guys and I didn't know who they were.
That's fair. This is one guy you would remember though, because normally he's rocking that sweet mustache. I think he shaved it off now, but you can see it on the jumbotron, his team picture.
Well,
that used to be his go-to. I don't know what happened.
I guess if you drop under 200, you got to make some changes. There's a pitch in the dirt. But Delmonico, Smith, Saladino, Engel. And Davidson was a really hot prospect with the D-backs.
Yeah, you're looking at a lot of prospects from a lot of clubs. They made some trades, try to get younger. They're putting them in the show.
Crawford will go the long way, and that'll end the inning. 2 runs. Garcia's 15th home run. Jones to lead things off.
Monday, September 11th through Wednesday the 13th. On Wednesday the 13th, the first 40,000 fans will receive a Frank Robinson bobblehead presented by PlayStation. Come to the park early as we honor Frank Robinson in a pregame ceremony. Tickets always available at sfgiants.com.
And a bell tie strike to Ryder Jones as we head to the 5th. It'll be Jones. Then the top of the order: Span, Panic, Posey, Crawford. Hook foul on the right field line.
He's coming in hot. Never flinched.
No.
Think he's going to a Notre Dame game?
I think he'll be there tomorrow.
Yeah.
Got him. 4th strikeout.
There's the break ball we've been talking about. Big old curve. Got the call. It's tough pitch to hit. Recognized it, saw it up, but it broke down into the zone. Back to the dugout. Ryder Jones goes.
Span has bounced out twice. The last time was into a 3-6-3 double play. And he started to go, but held up. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Hit well, but Engel, who was shading Span in that direction, puts it away. Here's our smart play brought to you by your California Ford dealers. We talked about Joe Panik on Wednesday. 5 for 6 with 2 doubles to give him 12 hits in a 3-game series. It sets a Giants record for most hits in a 3-game series, and it ties a Major League record held by 3 others.
Look at all the smiles on the bench.
Yeah,
They can't even believe what's going on.
I mean, it got to the point where it was like comical. He hit a fly ball to left in the 3rd. Drew a walk his first at bat. And he stands in now with 2 outs and nobody on. 3-2 lead for the Giants. Panik rolls this one up the middle. And that'll end the inning. It'll be Engel, Anderson. They will lead things off.
Authority of the San Francisco Giants and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Giants Baseball Club, LLC.
Well, here we are in Chicago, and the Giants are leading 3-2. And here's Adam Engel, who tripled in the 3rd inning. We've seen him run. We've seen him play defense. And we saw him knock out a triple. There's a healthy rip and a foul back. Matt Moore with 52 pitches. I don't even know if you can say the pitch he made to Garcia was a mistake, but that's the pitch that was hit out of the park for a 2-run home run. And this is rolled foul. But he's been good. The kid on the other side has been good. Giolito's been good.
He called in the keys of the game, working ahead in the count. You're looking at the pitch count. He's at 53 going into the 5th here. That's an encouraging sign already.
In tight, 1-2. And there was a time where Bruce Bochy said, we're going to take Matt Moore out of the rotation. Hit out to right. Hunter Pence will camp underneath this one. And I think Matt Moore wanted to show the Giants that, yeah, it's obviously in there, and the Giants do have an option on him next year. And if there's any doubt that it's hard to turn your back on a 28-year-old that's got the stuff that Matt Moore's got.
Well, I'm biased. Being a pitcher at this level for a while, but I feel like you don't give up on the left-handed pitcher. He has shown his stuff. I mean, he was 1 inning away last year from having 200 innings, and he's a guy that's proven to be durable.
On the ground towards the hole, Crawford off balance throw, and Ryder Jones trying to dig it out, and now it just caromed away from Hundley, and Hundley would have had a shot at throwing Anderson out going to second, but it just flipped by him, and that should be a hit and an error.
Makes a good pitch. Crawford comes, knows he's got to be quick. Anderson can run. Ryder trying to make the great play, just couldn't get the scoop, and just like you said, right up bad carom. They got to get with speed and scoring position. Moore and Hundley were talking, figuring out how they want to approach this at bat.
They've given Crawford an error. He was going to get an error no matter what. He just was wondering if they were going to give Anderson a hit. There's Moncada, who takes down low. So it's now still a straight error all the way. In tight, 2 balls and no strikes. Here's where the pitcher would like to help out his shortstop. Picking him up, getting the outs, the error not costly. Three and 0. And the big fella is on deck.
That's what you want to do. You want to be able to get this guy here, come all the way back, get him out. So even if it is a man at third, or if he stays at second, you still got some places to work around and Abreu if you need to.
As you get it in strike. Tap foul, so it's now 3-2.
Nice pitch right there too. A 3-1 changeup. Moncada's sitting fastball, gets the changeup, can't do anything with it. You look at it right here. Little slide step change, well executed. Topped it. Now he can double up, or he can go with a fastball in. Now he's got him thinking again. Looks like he's going inside.
Hunter Pence will come racing in, but now he'll slow down. And the sure-handed Pence puts it away. It's a nice comeback.
That it really is. It was a good sequence there. He and Hundley are really working well tonight. And that 3-1 changeup was really, really awesome. To have the confidence to throw it, execute it. Now they put that pitch in the back of Moncada's head. You look at it, he's trying to work in. You know, you want to jam Moncada. He's got some power, but to be able to get that changeup down, now you got him thinking he's going to double up, and he keeps him a tick off that heater. Got him to fly out.
Yeah, it's the way you can get away with a high fastball that is a pretty hittable pitch.
I wouldn't be surprised if he goes with changeups here coming up.
Hundley's going to come back. He's got it, and that's going to end the inning. I thought that was in the seats for sure. and so did Abreu. So here's Hundley as he goes right back to the screen. Not a babe. It's 3-2 Giants. It's 60 years ago at the Polo Grounds. That's right, the Polo Grounds. Giants and Dodgers played against each other in New York for the final time. Willie Mays went 2 for 4, and Hank Sauer hit a 2-run home run off of Don Drysdale. Giants won that game 3-2. The rivals faced off 1,410 times in New York, with the Giants leading the series. There's the pitch to Posey, and that's up high. So Buster, Crawford, Hundley. Posey lined the ball into the gap that Engel ran down. He's 0 for 2. Pitch number 86. And Buster takes low and away. 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, I got a minute here. I'd like to wish my mother a happy birthday.
Come on, Mom's birthday.
Yeah. Buster, hit one in the gap for her.
Just got underneath it as it's into shallow center field. And dropped it. He dropped it. He can't believe it.
The Windy City is showing up tonight. Look at this. He's coasting.
It went right. He went to catch it. He was late at it.
That's a whiff.
Wow.
Little Chris Berman. What? Right there.
So here's Crawford. That's the second time Buster Posey has reached on a Moncada error. And here's Crawford. Crawford takes outside for a ball. Crawford with a line drive single into right field in the 4th. He takes high, 2-0. Third error. Two ground balls and then this pop-up. Third error by the White Sox, not all 3 errors by Moncada. Crawford swinging and fouling. And it's 2-1.
No action in the bullpen, which is kind of surprising. He hasn't gone over 100 pitches, really.
Catch up to that 91-mile-an-hour fastball. It's 2-2.
I mean, that's the magic number for a lot of pitchers, but 2 starts ago, last start he went 96. The pitch outing before that 106. So that's usually the number. Nobody's stern.
Out of play. Same pitch. This one foul. So Matt Moore has a 1-run lead here in the 6th. High to Crawford. Only 5 hits in the game. The Giants have 2 hits. The White Sox have 3. The 1 hit by Sandoval left the park with 2 people on. So that's your difference. See Smith looking into the dugout for some help. The White Sox catcher, it's 3-2. Buster goes, the pitch. Swinging a drive into left center field. That's going to be a base hit. Because Posey was running, he's going to end up at third, and a nice piece of hitting by Brandon Crawford. Stay hot. And now the Giants are in business.
Sometimes that's all it takes. Just that one little end of the bat knock, and now you're locked back in. Great job. Gets the sinker. And a fastball count. Doesn't try to do too much. Just hits it over the left. Buster running on the place. Plays in front of him. You can see that he can just continue running. And you got runners on the corners.
And here's Hundley. Hundley drew a walk in the 4th. He was on base when Sandoval hit it out of the park. So Posey at third, Crawford at first. Hundley hits a high foul down the right field line and out of play.
And still no real action down there.
Got some action down there.
Yeah, making plays, high-fiving.
Yeah,
Nick Hundley, man of the people.
2 balls and 1 strike. On the ground to third, and it's foul.
Ooh. Adrian Johnson doing his best matrix down there, but I'm not sure. Let's take another look. Oh.
Well, he called it foul, and then it hit him. Yeah, Bruce Bochy's on the top step.
Sure looked. I have to see it again. That looked really close.
It did. It looked like.
Take another peek. It's just got to cross over the bag.
Oh well. It's 0-2.
Not even sure if Davidson might have even clipped it a little bit.
Foul again. So Hundley has missed a couple of hits by inches both times.
He's definitely in protect mode. 0-2 count. Nobody out. You want to be the guy driving him in. So he's just trying to shorten that swing a little bit. We're giving him right center if he can just flip one out over second base.
Nope. It's a pretty good pitch. It's 1-2. You're right. It's not. It's always odd to see a right fielder shading towards the line and the center fielder shading the gap. And that's why you get the gap you're talking about.
You know, Engel can run. We've seen it. He's shown it, but that's a lot of ground to have to cover.
So it's 1-2 to Hundley. Hundley takes it 2-2. Now we're seeing some bullpen activity. The one thing I can tell you for sure is it's a righty and a lefty. That I can do.
Bummer and Infante.
So 2-2. And they'll check on Crawford one more time. This will be pitch number 100. Three and two.
Great take. Tough take, I'm sure, but a great take and a great at bat.
And Giolito wanted it.
He did. Well, like we said earlier, Morales is consistent. He doesn't really call down. It's got a little bit of a smaller zone, but it's a consistent zone.
Got him.
Well, he went with the curveball. That's his bread and butter. Well executed. Started out in the zone. I think Hundley was sitting more fastball. Just see if Hunter can pick him up right here. Add-on runs are so important.
Pitch and a good rip. It's no balls and one strike. Hunter Pence in the fourth inning with base runners at second and third and only one out. He struck out, so he's got a shot to come up with an RBI again here in the sixth. One ball and one strike.
Another one Giolito thought he should have had. Backs off the rubber. Trying to gather himself a little bit. Trying to get this fastball down and away. Hunter got the call.
Out of play. Hunter Pence still a strike left. Look out. Probably by design, just to back Hunter Pence off.
You got to figure he's going to want to throw that breaking ball. But he's been pitching Hunter in all night. Let's see if he goes back in there.
So it's 2-2. And full count.
Doubled up with the fastballs in.
And now Pence is in the same spot Nick Hundley was in, where you start to get really anxious about wanting to drive that run in.
You would imagine this is his last hitter.
I would think so.
The switch hit and Sandoval on deck.
So everybody will relax as Pence steps out.
It's a good job by Hunter there. Try to dictate the count. or the timing of this pitch.
Runner goes. He walked him, and Posey can score. It's not a dead ball.
It's not a dead ball. Great read.
You got to play through.
Played through it. That was awesome. I think Nevin was definitely communicating with Buster, clapping down there. He basically stole a run. That was awesome.
Now, Buster Posey stole home.
He did.
That's why he's smiling.
That's put that one in the books there. That'll bring out Renteria.
I mean, Giolito's looking stunned. Like, how did that happen? I mean, here's the sequence.
Yeah. Ball 4, throw down. Moncada gets it, thinking it's some sort of little tag play.
Giants will take it. The ground attack. When it's time for a change things speedy, oil change in auto service. Your trusted oil change tune-up and brake experts. Been away. There have been a number of ejections. Giolito was thrown out even though he was out of the game. So you said something to the home plate umpire, and the home plate umpire said, "You're going to have to go to the clubhouse. See you later. Get out." And then Renteria, in trying to protect him, even though he has been thrown out, he just got tossed. So
you read his lips coming off the mound. He said that ball's not outside. That ball's not outside. You can't argue balls and strikes. That's a quick ejection. Got Super Joe McEwen trying to keep him back, a 4'0" guy going against 6'6". Good job by Super Joe. But Renteria, you know, we won't try to translate
look,
what he said.
There isn't any doubt he's trying to get kicked out.
Yeah, I mean, he's just trying to help out his guy.
Yeah. The 7th time he's been kicked out this year, so
that's it.
13th in his career.
Wow.
So we got a guy that it could be my new favorite name of all time.
Yeah, Aaron Bummer's taking the mound here for the White Sox. He's coming on for the 19th time. You look at the numbers, not pretty, limited work, but you know what you're going to see is that 3/4 crossfire kind of mechanics. He throws 91-94 with some sink and run, and with a slider as well. 82-84. That's basically a 2-pitch pitcher, and he's coming on to turn Panda around. And let's take another look at this pitch right here. Fastball. He thought he got it away. I mean, it's a strike. I think the only thing that you get caught on there is that you see Smith come up to make the throw, kind of blocks Morales from seeing that corner.
I mean,
he has an argument.
I agree.
Does.
But you also make it very difficult for that umpire if you're going to come out of there too soon. And Giants benefit from it. They're saying, by the way, Buster did not steal home. That's a fielder's choice. Here's Sandoval, homered in his last at bat. And he's going to look at a strike. So Crawford at second, Pence at first. Bouncing ball, foul. This was the home run by Sandoval. If you hadn't seen it, you got a pitch that was up, a changeup, and he hit it up.
Got all the way through it. Great extension. Put the Giants on the board.
Outside, a 1-2 with Mac Williamson on deck.
And Bummer's funky. There's no doubt about it. That ball is supposed to be up and away. It's sunk down in at 93. He's got some crossfire. Oh.
Well. That was a tough pitch for Smith to try to handle. And the Giants will try to benefit now. The White Sox have to play the infield in.
Another good spot for Panda.
Hit out into left center field and hit pretty well. And Delmonico is going to make the catch on the track. Coming in to score is Crawford. Pence to third. And the Panda's got 4 RBIs in this game.
Productive out. Great job by Pablo to be able to do that, especially after getting turned around. Bummer's going to stay in there and face these guys because you got Ryder Jones on deck.
The wild pitch allowed Sandoval to pick up an RBI. And he does that with a sacrifice fly. And here's Mac Williamson who takes a called strike. In tight. The smaller scoreboard here had that first fastball thrown by Bummer at 94. So it's not that he's sneaky. I mean, he's got the weird windup and then pretty good velocity. He's really foul.
He's got action, and now you got a man at third base. He's thrown one wild pitch. You can see it's difficult to catch. Smith is having a tough time squaring it up.
Aaron Bummer.
So the RTI is in play.
Two balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs and 2 runs in, and the Giants leading 5-2. Just outside. I don't really believe that Bummer cares if he walks Mac Williamson or not. He's got Ryder Jones on deck. Back, went right at him.
But that being said, he went right
at him. tap to first, and Abreu will make the play, and that'll end the inning. So the Giants, with some help, scored 2 on 1 hit, and they lead 5-2.
NBC Sports Bay Area is brought to you by the all-new 2017 Chrysler Pacifica. By AAA. Get a free canvas backpack. Restrictions apply. Go to AAA.com/road trip or to a AAA branch for details. By Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. By Heffernan Insurance Brokers. Insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit hefins.com. And by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places.
Well, here in Chicago, the Giants with a 5-2 lead. And it'll be Garcia, Davidson, and Delmonico to face Matt Moore. I saw the big difference in the starter for the White Sox. Giolito had like 106 or 107 pitches, and Matt Moore now is 65 or 66. Garcia's home run went to right field. Yeah, that made it a 3-2 ball game.
Moore's looking for the shutdown inning, and this is when you want to be facing Garcia with nobody on.
Yep, there's a ball hit down the right field line for Hunter Pence. Look out, Hunter. This was the home run. You can see how well he does go into right field.
Yeah, cutter, mislocated cutter, not too bad either. Give credit to Garcia. Stayed down, stayed through it. Drove it into the seats.
Panic. Gets a short hop and throws him out. So Garcia is retired. That'll bring up Matt Davidson. Davidson, a walk and a strikeout.
It's a big out right there for Matt. He's looking for a shutdown inning and a quick inning at that.
In the dirt, 1 ball and no strikes.
That's a changeup that he's bounced just a few times, and he's really thrown it well. Let's see if he doubles up with it.
Call back.
He does.
was. There it was. Fell back.
By the way, the Indians won tonight. That's their 16th straight win. Down low, 2 balls and a strike.
The old triple up on a changeup. You don't see that too often.
No.
Looks like there's a pitcher's duel in Washington. 10-7 ball game.
Yeah. There's a belt high strike. It's 2-2. Milwaukee still leading Chicago 2-0. That game in the 7th, and he got him. A foul that held on by Hundley. Strikeout number 4.
Another good sequence there. Again, he went changeup, 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 slowed him down, and then just went fastballs up. You know, he just slowed him down to speed him up. He did a great job there. He and Hundley have been in a good rhythm tonight.
They have. Here's Delmonico. Delmonico takes wide. He's reached on a fielder's choice and he's walked. So Matt Moore now with 75 pitches. Center field. Span coming in. Side retired. So there's your shutdown inning with minimal pitches. 7th inning coming up. It's brought to you by your local Toyota dealer, and it's been a good night for Matt Moore. It's been a good night for Pablo Sandoval, who was 0 for 39, and he hit a 3-run home run and later on a sacrifice fly. So here's Ryder Jones facing Aaron Bummer.
That's right, the old Bummer.
Tap foul. I really never ever thought that there would be another guy in either league that would have a nickname of Bum.
You're right.
Thought there is only one.
There is only one.
Yeah, you're right.
Trivia on the big board. Can you get it right?
Yes, I can. Ryder Jones is going to be out, and I think for the average fan, many people would think the answer to that would be Pablo Sandoval. The question on the board is who started all 5 games at third for the Giants in the 2010 World Series. Of course, it was Juan Uribe, who, by the way, he wasn't playing at all in the first round. It was Pablo and Edgar Renteria at short.
That's right.
And then things kind of went sideways for Pablo, and he was the odd man out.
His homer sent the Giants to the World Series.
There's Span. Yeah, Uribe's home run is the one that did it. I don't think he hit one to right field in the entire season.
I don't think he ever hit one after.
So Bummer strikes out Jones, and Span takes one low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. You know what? When he kept the clubhouse, there was a lot of life from Juan Uribe in the clubhouse.
Great teammate. Enjoyed every minute of it. He was a shortstop when I first broke in the league. My locker mate then. Came to the Giants, obviously, I think it was about 7 years later.
Yeah. Down low to Span.
And he's the same guy. Just fun to be around.
Yeah.
Wore ridiculous outfits. Always smiling. Never knew anybody's name, which was even better. Big money. He called Buster Big Money all the time.
Big money.
Yeah.
Span is going to take the walk. The other guy on that team that was quite funny was Guillermo Moto.
The good old Moda.
I've told this story before, but I mean, like Juan Uribe did not speak very good English. If he did, then it wasn't to us. It may have been to you guys. But Guillermo was another guy that just never quite sure what was going to come out of. He showed up in spring training with there was a pair of shoes that were a little odd, a little different maybe. And without saying hello, he walked by me. His panic is going to take low. He looked at my shoes, looked at me, and said, "Walgreens?" Yeah.
He had a nice long career, Moda. Great guy, great teammate.
He was great.
If he could just clone him.
I thought that went off of Joe's foot,
Yeah,
but he didn't sell it enough. Otherwise, they probably would have got the call, but he's retired 1-3.
He'd be perfect in today's game. You know, you're looking at the super reliever, a guy that can go 1 time, 2 times through the order. You look at almost got him on the foot. Yeah, you're right. Almost got him there.
So they'll walk Buster intentionally to face Crawford.
It's a guy that's going to go once or definitely 2 times through the order. Take him out. Rubber arm. He'd be doing pretty darn well.
Yeah.
Not that he did bad by any means, but
Yeah, I mean, there was a point we used to ask Boch if something happened to Wilson and you had to kind of like, would you be afraid to use Moda? He said, absolutely not. So here's Crawford. Crawford's got a couple of singles, and both times that he singled, he has scored. And here he takes a strike, and it's 0-1. We are in the 7th. Giants with a 5-2 lead. It's kind of an odd line. Each team with just 3 hits.
this Bummer.
Smith is having to work, isn't he?
Bummer is effectively wild. He does have high strikeout numbers, and you can see why. That ball's dancing everywhere. Add-on runs, that's what the Giants are looking for, especially late in the ball game. I'm going to try to get a few here.
1 and 2. Span at second, Posey at first. Down low, another block. The look to second, and Crawford, a healthy rip and a foul back.
Just looks like Smith is just tightening up the skates. He's just kind of hanging in the middle of the plate.
Right. Out of play. That Dodger Rocky game is underway, and in the first inning, Carlos Gonzalez has hit a home run. So it remains 2-2, and Crawford lines it fair down the left field line. Span scores. Buster Posey's going to stop at third. And Crawford's got his third hit. Have a night.
Stay hot. Look at it right here. Mislocated fastball in. Out over the plate. Goes with the pitch. And this time, after playing with the line with Hundley and stuff, that one paints it right there. Adrian Johnson all over it. And now Super Joe McEwen's going to be the skipper making moves.
When it's time for a change, things speedy. Oil change and auto service. Your trusted oil change, tune-up, and brake experts. The Giants. And we have a new pitcher, and it's Danny Farquhar.
Yeah, he's coming on 45th time. Look at numbers, pretty good, especially against the lefties. And the reason he does that is because he's a four-seam velocity guy, or 91, 95, but the changeup is his second best pitch. He's going to use it a lot, 84, 88, and he almost acts like a split finger. So you're going to see a lot of fastball changeups with an occasional curveball.
And with 2 outs, Hundley will step in. He's 0 for 2 with a walk, and he rolls this one foul. By the way, 16,852 here at the park. We got some Giants fans with the big fist. Hundley a swing and a miss. It's 0-2. I don't know. It seems like that group right there, they're having a good time.
I think they're doing just fine.
0-2. So do you think your mom is watching?
Oh, she's definitely watching.
Do you think she takes notes? Like,
yeah, she usually.
I don't know, Javi. Maybe you could have said this or.
Definitely.
Hit out to right. And that's going to end the inning. So happy birthday, Mrs. Lopez. Your kid's doing just fine, by the way. 6-2 Giants. Not on our team. Yeah, it's a bad call. There's a pitch outside to Kevin Smith.
Wow.
Smith has hit 2 fly balls. He's 0 for 2. He's at a workout behind the dish. And a little flare, and Crawford can't get it. So a little bloop to lead off the 7th.
Got a 1-1 cutter in, well located. Smith was just able to muscle it out over Crawford's head. Got 0 extension on it. I mean, just got jammed, but just enough to get out of the outstretched arms of Brandon Crawford. Found himself with a hit.
So here's Saladino, who's rolled out to Crawford twice.
So you call him double play?
Well, if he keeps true form, he's going to hit it either to Panic or to Crawford.
Okay.
Swing. And going to miss. Nothing in 2. Engel is on deck. 82 pitches for Matt Moore. On the ground, foul. The Dodgers came right back and scored 2 runs, so they lead the Rockies 2-1. Still Milwaukee leading Chicago 2-0. And keeping an eye on the Cardinals as well. They lead the Pirates 4-0. They're finally at home. Up high, a waste pitch, 1-2. If you're running with all that's going on with the weather in Florida, Miami is playing in Atlanta. And our hearts go out to all the folks that are trying to prepare for this horrible hurricane that is coming its way. As Ryder Jones is going to put it away. And the hitter will be Engel. Engel is tripled and he's flied out to right. And he's going to try to bunt his way on. And it stays fair. How about that?
It looked like it was going foul, then it hit a little.
It hit a spot. You're right. I agree.
A little piece of dirt or a cleat mark or something. Started tracking like he was going to go foul, and then it hits right about there. And you see it just stays true. Panda had no play anyway. We've showcased it so many times. The guy can run.
Here's Tim Anderson. And he takes high. Anderson's got some power now. He's got 15 home runs. This has been an inning where Smith got jammed on a bunt single. And there's a healthy rip and a foul back. So the tying run is still in the on-deck circle as you see Corey Guerin getting ready.
That's where Matty Moses trying to manage the inning. Trying to get a ground ball, but just getting out.
On the ground to Crawford. And Crawford, they're going to get the out there, but that's it. Don't know, but I'm saying probably not would have turned the double play. But what you have to do there is you have to get one out.
Got to get an out. You're just in management mode at this point in time. Hard ground ball. Crawford knew he had to be quick with it. Thankfully stayed with it. Was able to still throw a strike to Joe. Joe got slid into. I'll make sure everything's all right.
Yeah, a little stank eye. That's good. So going to pop up out of play.
Yeah, just managing an inning. Double play would have been great, but you got the out, and that's most important.
So Moncada with a healthy rip, and it's no balls and 1 strike. And a soft toss to first.
Moncada in a lot last at bat. Remember he threw that great 3-1 changeup. He throws a cutter inside. Now you got a few pitches to play with. Show him the changeup. Show him the cutter there. One thing's for sure, it's going to be out of the zone.
And there it is.
That's a good pitch.
Trying to work some traffic here in the 7th for Matt Moore. High, 2-2. Creeping up to 100 pitches, now 93. Foul back. He's very aggressive swinger. Yohan Moncada, which we will see a lot of in this series. He's made a couple of errors that have cost the White Sox defensively, but he sure is a good-looking hitter. That's high, and it's a full count. Now, you don't want the tying run coming up, so you've got a 4-run lead, which allows you to go right after this hitter.
Definitely. Matty's standing up a few times on these release points. Want to get a little bit better finish, and that might be it.
So the walk. I'm not sure. Oh, the skipper has made the decision. So when it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and brake experts. Nice job, Matt Moore. There's your new pitcher.
Yeah, Corey Guerin coming off for the 59th time. Really impressive numbers. Good job, both lefties and righties. You're going to see a low 3/4 sidearm release, sinkers and sliders, and he's asked to just come in and get the Giants back in the dugout. It's not going to be an easy task, but the way the Corey's been throwing the ball, he's got the stuff to get anybody out.
So Abreu singled in the 4th. He's 1 for 3. And look, if you're Abreu, you need to try to tie it up with one swing. a strike, and it's 0-1. That's Smith, Anderson, and Moncada. Those are your base runners with 2 outs here in the 7th. Hundley asked for time. Here's the 0-1 on the ground to Sandoval. And that'll end the inning. So nice job, Corey Guerin.
Real nice.
8th inning coming up. Matt Moore. Nice job. We'll have it for you right here on NBC Sports Bay Area. Pregame live at 3. We'll have the game for you at 4. And if you want to check out Alex Pavlovich, go to NBCSportsBayArea.com. Alex is not here, but he was in Denver. As Hunter Pence is going to lead things off. Pence takes a strike.
What a life. He gets to just pick the series now.
Yeah. Look, I have nothing against Denver as Pence hits a high fly ball to left. And this is going to be caught for out number 1. But I would think that Chicago would be a destination for a single guy, wouldn't you?
You would think.
So here's the Panda. Sandoval has 4 RBIs in this game, and 3 of them came on a home run in the 4th inning. And he swings and fouls this one, and it's no balls and 1 strike. This was the home run. Remember, he's 0 for 39 until that. Bruce Bochy kept having to answer the questions. Well, are you going to play Sandoval at all anymore? And skipper said yes. Friday night. And that was the end of it. Outside, 1 and 2. His last at bat was a sacrifice fly, and that came hitting right-handed. fouls it out of play. In the dirt, 2-2.
Smith is beginning to work out back there.
He has been blocking balls from the first inning on. Sandoval hits a little pop-up into left field. Coming in is Delmonico. He will make the catch. If you just joined us, Lucas Giolito, as he was leaving the mound after being taken out of the game, was thrown out by home plate umpire Gabe Morales, and then Renteria, the skipper for the White Sox, got thrown out as well, trying to let his pitcher know that he had his back. Here's Mac Williamson. Takes a strike. Mac Williamson coming off the game on Wednesday where he hit a home run to right field. He earned the start today, and he's 0 for 3.
Oh, man.
Smith. Jeez.
Trying to get his mask taken off.
That's the old school mask. It's a quick 0-2 to Mac Williamson here in the 8th. And it's a quick 0-3, and that'll end the inning. White Sox are coming up. It'll be Garcia to lead things off.
Every device, every out-of-market regular season game live, plus get a free subscription to AppBat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackouts and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details.
This little girl wants a baseball from Hunter Pence. And if Hunter Pence actually saw that sign, he would give that little girl a baseball.
No doubt.
So other than running out on the field, she needs to somehow get Hunter Pence's attention. Corey Guerin is going to be facing the kid who hit the home run in the 4th inning. Avisail Garcia. The pause and the pitch. Swinging a tapper foul, and it's no balls and 1 strike. This was the home run. It went to right field.
There's the power. And I spent a lot of time in Detroit with Miggy Cabrera. I'm not saying he's going to be as good as Miggy by any means, but similar approach, and it's a similar style, being able to drive the ball the opposite way. And you look at those numbers, 322 with 15. I mean, he's doing work.
Well, does Brandon Crawford have it in him? You bet he does. Nice play. Got him. And Garcia runs pretty good. With this, it's all about the exchange.
Yep. Kind of throws it to his hand. It's impressive.
Here's Matt Davidson. Look out. He got away from Roy Guerin. In tight, same spot, 2 balls and no strikes. Matt Moore, a really solid job tonight, as he went 6 2/3.
He really looked great, attacking the zone, mixing his pitches.
There's a strike from Guerin. 2 balls and 1 strike. He did.
He recognized the game plan. The White Sox were early and often, and was able to start getting ahead in the count with some off-speed stuff. Really did a nice job with staying on the same page with Nick Hundley, and came up with a great game plan.
Down low, so it's 3-1. Hence guarding the alleyway with Davidson at the plate. Hit out to Pence. 2 outs.
Take a look at Matt Moore's stuff right there. There's the curveball. There's the changeup right there. Cutter coming across the zone. Fastball's up. Yeah, just mixed everything up. Did a great job. Confidence booster. He's been throwing the ball. He's had some really good outings in August. Was able to come in relief, get some work in. Now that Cueto's back and the rotation kind of got extended for a little bit. Trying to stay in that good rhythm and finish strong.
And Delmonico waits, and there's a swing.
Really nice change up there.
Right off the bat. By the way, the Dodgers now leading Colorado 4-1. Just game 1 of a 3-game series. Giants in interleague action, by the way, are 7-10 if you care. The White Sox are 4-13 against the National League. Hundley setting up on the inner half of the plate. See if Guerin can throw it there. It's 2 balls and a strike. Do you like interleague play? I know. You took a deep breath. That means, how am I going to put this?
You know, honestly, I didn't mind it. I kind of liked however many years ago that it was, where it was just about 2 weeks get it done
in your division.
Yeah.
2-2.
It's nice to be able to bounce around and look at all the other parks. But for scheduling, I totally understand this type.
Yeah.
To be able to squeeze all the games in.
It does seem odd, though, that you would have interleague games in September.
Don't worry about it. He's okay. Don't worry about it.
And it's rolled foul. All of a sudden, Bill Boston became the most popular guy in the joint.
Showing the good hands down there.
Two and two. Mac Williamson, the big fella, on the move, and that's going to end the inning. So we will head to the ninth. It's 6-2 Giants.
Insurance Giants post-game live, highlights, reaction, and analysis, and it's all coming up for a full hour right after the game.
Here in the ninth, the Giants with a 6-2 lead. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and brake experts.
Taking the mound for the White Sox is Juan Minaya, gone 32nd time. Again, the numbers a little bit high, but you look at the punch-outs, 43 and 35 innings. The guy's got some pretty good stuff. He's going to see fastballs 93 to 96 and curveballs and sliders.
So heads up Ryder Jones. You're going to see a fastball. Jones is 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts and a walk. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. You don't have to be in the league for very long before teams will put a shift on you. And Anderson is kind of playing around whether he's going to do the full shift or not at short, and there's a swing and a miss, 1 and 2. So Ryder Jones, we're going to try to avoid the hat trick. All right, kid, put it in play. 2 and 2. If you're standing there as a hitter and you see that pitch, you're thinking, does not really know where it's going.
Yeah.
And that's always a weird thought. Got him. And that'll bring up Span.
Gets the fastball down and in, located perfectly. And at 95, you decide pretty early if you're going to swing or not swing at that. He decided to take.
That's the point. The pitch before that was like way off.
Yeah, change in eye level.
Here's Span, who's 0 for 3. The price you pay for young guys at this level can be very painful. And Ryder Jones is finding that out. High drive to right. Deep and gone. And Denard Span knocks one out for his 11th of the year. Denard.
He's having a good road trip.
He is.
That ball was spanked pretty good.
It was.
Gets the fastball down and in. Nitro zone for a lot of lefties. Right there, just fires off that back knee, drives it into the Giants bullpen, and add-on runs. No catch right there. No catch on the breaking ball.
So Panic is 0 for 3. There's a line drive down the left field line. That's a base hit for Joe Panic. And Buster's going to get a chance to hit.
Joe was probably wondering what took so long to get a hit in the series.
No, he's disappointed.
Span gets it and gets right in the lane of the trot. Get out the way.
Buster tonight is 0 for 3. He did reach on an error. And there's a pitch inside for a ball, 1-0. Buster likes these guys that throw hard.
He sure does.
So this is right in his wheelhouse. There's a strike. Let's see what Bruce Bochy does tomorrow with Samardzija pitching, and it may be that he'll have Buster Posey DH again. You can run out a pretty good lineup if you have Hundley in the lineup and Buster Posey in the lineup.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You would think. But there's one thing the skipper likes to do, and that's tinker with that lineup.
Posey on the ground and into the hole. So that's his first hit, and that's 3 hits in a row now for the Giants. And here's Crawford.
That'll be into his day.
So I totally missed that. So Buster's out. Is it Khalek's day?
Khalek's day in.
Did I see? Is that
Albuquerque? Sure is.
Is that the same Albuquerque from the World Series?
Yes, it is.
Where Sandoval hit the home run?
Yeah, give up the third one. That's him.
So here's Crawford. Crawford's got 3 hits. 7-2.
Here's another look at Al. Loading up some sticky.
at the knees. 0-2. There's Orlando Calixte. Crawford takes high. 1-2. The Giants with 3 hits this inning makes the hit total look a little bit better. For a while there, they had more runs than hits. Crawford stays alive as he just poked at that as it bounces into the White Sox dugout.
It's a nasty pitch. They say it's a sinker on the board, but it sure looks like a changeup.
Yeah, it does.
It's diving.
Taps this one. And Minaya almost threw it past Abreu. Both runners advance as Crawford's retired. And here's Hundley.
Abreu immediately takes the glove off his hand because he absolutely took that right in the palm. Yeah, you see him walking around. He's trying to warm that hand up. Oof.
He's got some big paws, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. That can't be feeling too hot right there. He's stretching his hand out.
Well, he's probably thinking, and he didn't have to throw it like that. Hundley looking for his first hit. He's 0 for 3. And he's going to come up with 1, and it's going to knock in 1. And with Calixte's speed, it's going to knock in 2. And just like that, the Giants have now opened it up. So is that little Joe coming out?
Yep. Hundley gets a fastball in. They've been working him inside all night. He's ready for it. Dropped the barrel on it. Got himself 2 steaks. There's Joe McEwing again making another move.
So and the new pitcher, there you see him, Albuquerque. And I remember one thing, he throws hard, and Sandoval got a hold of one. And where did the third one go? Center field?
Yeah, deep into the bleachers out there, just off of the batter's eye in the right field. Right center, right of center.
Here's the pitch to Pence, and he rolls it to third. And that is going to end the inning. That, however, was not the most impressive hit in that game. It was Barry Zito getting that guy. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up in brake experts. There you go, Javi.
Yeah, there he is, taking the mound. Reyes Morante. He made his debut in Colorado and was lighting up the radar gun. Here you're going to see his four-seam high velocity out of this guy, 96, 95 and up, I should say. Occasional changeup and a slider in the mid-80s. He's got good stuff. He reminds a lot of people of Gene Machi. They used to put on the Giant uniform. And more appearance than anything else.
Giants had like 3 or 4 guys that all wore this, fit the same uniform.
They sure did. Jose Mijares.
That's right.
Yeah. Machi. Petit, kind of.
Yeah. I think
Pablo in there.
I think they were all from Venezuela.
They were, actually, yes. Throw Pablo in there.
Yeah, by the way, your mom shares a birthday with him.
That's right.
And Gorkys Hernandez. Man, who would have thought that your mom,
It's a huge day.
Hundley,
Huge day.
and Hernandez would all be put together in the same sentence?
How about that?
That's an honor. Here's Smith. 9-2 Giants. Smith hit a little flare into left field for a hit in the 7th. Swing, ain't gonna miss. Ken Forsch birthday. Garrett Cole, the Pirates. Swing and a miss. That's a good pitch right there for him.
Some pretty nasty stuff.
It's funny when you ask people who have seen guys like Moranta before we do, and you ask them, well, tell us a little bit about Moranta, and the first thing they'll say is, well, doesn't look great in a uniform, so just set that aside, okay? But boy, can he ever throw.
Yeah, just peek at the radar gun. That last pitch was 98. It's not bad if you're into numbers.
Oh. And this is a pop-up into shallow center field. Joe Panik says, let me have this one, and he does. 1 out. You know, you mentioned Gene Machi. You think about some of the big games that he had to help the Giants win. And that guy was in the minor leagues for a long time.
You're right. And that was when he first came up. I was with him in Pittsburgh back in 2010. He was throwing close to 100.
Really?
Yeah. Much like this. I mean, that's reach back 98 with a little bit of cut, too. Right there.
Saladino is 0 for 3.
And he's not liking this matchup.
Yeah, that's the one if you're a right-handed hitter where you just don't want that right-hander to lose his arm angle. Here's the 2-0 delivery, and it's not close. Moranta's going to get some dirt. And the pitch. And he missed it. So it's a walk. And Engel will be the hitter. Engel tripled in the 3rd. Had a bunt base hit in the 7th. And he takes a pitch wide. Wow. These are pretty close pitches.
Really close.
Gabe Morales making the kid earn it. There's a strike. Down low. I mentioned the D-backs have a very nice little win streak going of their own. Arizona 113. They're in trouble tonight. They're down 8-0 in the 5th. Swing. Ain't gonna miss. 2-2.
That would be a problem.
It's a problem. Well, that ballpark. Come back. Jeff Nelson shut out the Cubs tonight 2-0. Got him. So the 2 outs.
Just a little reach back heater. It was probably the softest one of the day.
You see pitchers that have this nice easy motion and then the ball just jumps. This guy comes at you with he puts
What are you saying? It's
every ounce that he's got in it, and there's a ball strike. Anderson is 0 for 4. Reached on an error. He reached on 2 fielders' choices. And the 0-2. Here it is. And that's the ball game. So the Giants come in to new Comiskey, and they get a nice job from Matt Moore and from Pablo. Those are the 2 guys. Those are the stories tonight.
They did. Matt Moore came out, had a game plan, well executed with Nick Hundley. They were on the same page. There were not many shakes going on. Trusting his off-speed stuff, as they showed the little montage there of him being able to throw the change-ups, the breaking balls, the fastballs up in the zone. This vintage Matt Moore that the Giants fans saw a lot of last year.
So, final score here in Chicago. Game 1 of this 3-game series goes to the Giants. It's the Giants 9 and the White Sox 2. Stay tuned. Esurance Giants post-game live. That's going to start right now.